Soon you guys will be released to listen to more speakers and to enjoy Expo. And I just want to, before we go, thank my team. And I think we have some images. We were going to bring them up on stage, but there are so many. So thank you so much to Rachel, to Leah, Patty, and Carly, who are on this screen. And if we could show the other team, this is the entire productions team. They are all working feverishly behind the scenes to make this event happen with the All Seated and Expo team and the big gala that we're doing on Saturday. Oh my gosh, at the San Francisco MoMA. So thank you, all of you, so much. So let me tell you, it's Megan. I got to look at the picture so I don't forget anyone. Megan, Sarah, Katie, Madeline, Kate, Annalisa, and Veronica. Thank you so much, everyone, for working with me. Sometimes I can be crabby. Not really. I'm just a wonderful person to work with. Anyway, thank you so much. And everyone, stick around for more speakers. Okay, I'm now the MC. Imagine that. Okay, here we go. So we have a speaker that's going to be coming up. She is a force to be reckoned with. Kim Fulcher. She's a seasoned Silicon Valley executive and serial entrepreneur. She's the author of Remodel Your Reality, 7 Steps to Rebalance Your Life and Reclaim Your Passion, and the creator of Get Your Groove Back, which is registered trademark, an on-demand coaching program for women. She speaks professionally about empowerment, engagement, marketing, and community culture, and runs a coaching organization that specializes in helping professional women succeed in their careers. Please welcome to the stage, Ms. Kim Fulcher.
Hello. Hey. Natasha, congratulations. What an incredible event already. I've had 2 or 3 ahas already, and I just have so much respect for your grit and your self-awareness and your sense of selflessness and your sense of hustle. Uh, be relentless. So hello, everyone. My name is Kim Fulcher. I am a life coach and an author and a speaker, and more than anything, a teacher. I'm a performance trainer. I work with executives to either navigate and really take deliberate control of their own career path, and or to help their teams do the same thing. And so my work is really about helping you line your behavior up with your goals, which sounds very simple. But over the next 10 minutes, what we're going to do is talk about really the formula you can use to take control of the power each one of us has within us to create the results we want in our life, regardless of the circumstances life has handed us. And we've all heard at this point the stories of what Natasha has overcome. And don't we know so many personalities in our social lexicon who have overcome very difficult circumstances? Every one of those individuals who have taken a very difficult experience and turned it into actually fuel that helps them not only create the life they want to live, but help other people while they're doing it. There is a formula that all of those individuals have used. And that's what I'm going to teach you today. We're going to do 3 simple steps, and we're going to talk about how to use your power, how to make sure that you're actually in control of yourself as you go about life, which is unfortunately not the norm. And I'm going to tell you how, if you're not already in deliberate control of your own power, you can take control of it. You can change your life without blowing it up. You can make anything burning in your heart happen. You, like Natasha, can overcome any difficult, even potentially debilitating circumstance to have the reality you want to have. And to do that, what you need to do is take control of the power that's bestowed on all of us. You know, we've all loved The Wizard of Oz, and at the end of that movie, The fairy godmother, the good witch, Glinda tells Dorothy, "You've had the power all along, my dear." And every person watching this, either live or after the fact, you have this power. It's just that no one has taught you how to use it yet. So that's what we're going to do in the next 9 minutes. I'm going to teach you about the three components of power. They are what you think, what you say, and what you do. And I'm going to teach you how to, in practical terms, in a real busy life, start to pay attention to what you're doing with your time, your attention, your energy. What you think, what you say or don't say, what you do or don't do, that actually determines the quality of your life. So if there's anything going on in your life right now that you don't like, I've been doing this work long enough to know, I'm 25 years into this work. I've been doing this long enough to know, and I've worked with enough famous people and tech CEOs to know that even if you're incredibly successful, there's something going on in your life you don't like. Or there's something you want you don't have yet. So if either one of those things is true for you, I'm going to invite you for the next 8 minutes to just hang with me and to learn how to use your universally given strengths, your thoughts, your words, your deeds. And I'm going to teach you how to line those up with what you want so that you have more of what you want and less of what you don't. So, first, let's talk about two definitions. So, power is defined as the ability to impact or influence circumstances. And so, what I want for you is I want you to have the ability to impact or influence your own circumstances. There's another psychological definition. It's called agency, which sounds kind of funny, but all it means is agency means you're in control of you. And when you are consciously and deliberately directing your thoughts, your words, and your deeds toward what you want, I promise you, what you want will be yours. If you're in a circumstance where you're dealing with things you don't like, you don't enjoy, you don't want, I promise you there is some level of misdirected power going on. So we're going to uncover misdirected power in your life if you're dealing with some challenging circumstance. And I'm going to teach you how to direct your power so you can have more of what you want and less of what you don't. Natasha said something very important as she kicked us off today. And she was talking about the fact that while she had made sacrifices, what she really viewed each of those sacrifices as was a choice. And I'm doubling down on that and making sure that we all here today understand that every single thing we think or say or don't say or do or don't do, those are choices. So here is a formula, 3 steps. Okay. What you think, what you say, and what you do, those things together equal the power you are asserting on your world. So first, let's talk about what you think. What I know after more than 25 years of working with just thousands of clients is that most of us have this voice in our head that is not very nice to us. It's the voice that asks us who we think we are. It's the voice that reminds us of our shortcomings. So the first thing we need to do, step 1 in our power formula, is you need to handle your headspace. You need to make sure that you're paying attention to that little voice that is constantly going inside your head. And the simplest way to do that I've found is to just pay attention to whether or not what you're saying to yourself is supportive of you. Is your voice for you? Is it telling you things that move you forward, or is it telling you things that keep you stuck? And I have this little game I play with clients in identifying the voice. The voice is either the frenemy or the bestie. And the frenemy is, this is the person who acts like they're our friend, even when they're not. Oh, well, don't put yourself out there. You might get rejected. Hey, what if they really know who you are? Right? Then there's the bestie who just muzzles that frenemy and makes sure that you're paying attention to the best possible outcome you could create in any situation. And what I know to be true, and this is also based on the way our brain works, is that most of the time, that little internal voice, until you take control of it, is not actually for you. So your brain is not designed to make you happy. It is designed to keep you safe. And that means that it's on this constant search and destroy mission to identify what could possibly threaten you. So your frenemy literally has the reins unless and until you take control. And what I will challenge my clients to do is just to take a 24-hour period or a 20, 48, a 36-hour period, 1, 2, 3 days, where you just notice whether or not the things you're saying to yourself in your own head are moving you toward the life you want or are keeping you stuck and spinning. And 9 times out of 10, if you've not taken charge of your internal voice, your voice will keep you stuck. So, the first thing to do to take control of your power in the world is to start to notice, to have an awareness of how you're using your inside voice. Handle your head space. That is step one. Step two has to do with how we use our voice. Do you speak up for yourself when you need to? Or do you stay quiet? Do you agree to things that don't make sense to you because you want to feel safe? Or do you speak truth? And there are many layers of this level of growth that we move through. But for this purpose, for really understanding that you are in charge of you, and that once you take charge of what goes on in your head, you need to take charge of what comes out of your mouth. And the first thing we do is just say, that frenemy that was in your head, that frenemy does not get to use your outside voice. Do not speak against yourself. Do not talk about what's wrong with you. Do not give excuses for why you cannot have what you want. Do not call out your faults in advance of someone else understanding them. We all have faults. This is called human. Every word you speak has power, and you want to make sure that you're speaking only into the world what you want to experience. And the speak part of our equation has two components. First, there's how do you use your outside voice? We don't want to let frenemy use our outside voice. The second component is what do you stop yourself from saying? What do you censor yourself from saying? And what we all do is we learn very early on that if we disagree, we might face rejection. And so we just begin to kind of censor ourselves. But what happens over the course of decades, so if you get into your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, and you've constantly censored yourself to make sure you felt safe, well, you're really going to have a lot you think that hasn't come through. And that energy, that stuffed energy, that doesn't go away. It begins to characterize the way you show up in the world. It calcifies. Bitter is not better. You must make requests when you need something. If something is not working for you, you must have the courage to step into the discomfort of using your voice. So the first part of your power is what is going on in your head. The second part is how are you using your voice? Are you asking for what you need? And are you making sure that you are not agreeing with things you don't agree with just to feel safe? And then the third component of our formula, and this is the one that most of us relate to, what you do matters. What you don't do matters too. If you want a thing, it will be yours as long as you behave in line with that thing. But you cannot behave in a way that conflicts with what you say you want and hope to get it. And I'll use just health as an example. Let's say you want this vital, fit body. You can't want this vital, fit body and then blow your workouts off or stuff your face with fast food. You cannot behave in conflict with what you want and hope to get it. And when I start working with a client, and I'm working with these highly functional 7, 8, 9 figures CEOs, I've never met a person who doesn't have something they want and yet aren't behaving in some way that conflicts with what they want. So what I would invite you to do today is just think about what's the thing you want you don't have yet, or what's the problem you're dealing with that you don't want to deal with. And then just ask yourself these two questions. What do you need to start doing to have what you want? And or what do you need to stop what you want? I've never worked with a client who didn't have an answer to both of those questions. So if you want something or if you're dealing with something you don't want, what do you need to start doing? change your circumstances? What do you need to stop doing to change your circumstances? You are in full agency when you are in control of your own power. And one of the things I most love and respect about Natasha as I close, her ability not to let the outside circumstances of her life impact her, but her ability to charge of her power, to take charge of what she's thinking, to take charge of what she's saying, and to take charge of what she's doing or not doing to move her down the line in order to accomplish her goals. You can do the same thing. I work with this same formula. What you say and what you do, that determines whether or not you have what you want in your life or don't. And whether you're in charge of yourself is really just about you dropping into this place of awareness where you are deliberately directing these three components: what you think and what you say and what you do. And I'm so just grateful here with this group of people who are not just committed to being resilient, as Natasha says, but to being relentless. And I commit this to, first, Natasha, congratulations. And then second, I hope I have not just inspired you, but what I really want to do is shift you. I want to shift the way you think. And I hope that today, these 10, 12 minutes, understand that you have a lot more power than you think you do. Do you really take charge of your headspace? Take charge of your voice, take charge of your actions. You can make anything happen. You have got this.